Okay.
Just kidding.
Okay, so thanks for doing this interview.
Of course.
And so we are this is for my class that is revolved around play.
Okay.
So please describe your family and who are the adults and the kids in the household?
You just want me to name?
Yeah, just
Okay.
like who they are.
Jen Ball, adult. John Ball, adult. Rivers, he is technically an adult, but he's still a kid. Strider, kid. Arias, kid.
Okay, so how
Do I
old,
need to
how
tell
old
you
are
their
the ages of the kids?
Okay. Rivers 19, Strider 17, Arias 10.
Okay. And out of the adults in the household, who spends the most time with the children?
I feel
Door closed.
interview time. I feel like probably I spend the most time with the kids, with the children. I don't feel like it's an extreme amount of more that I spend with them than John. I feel like it does kind of equal itself out, but because I'm home in the evenings and he's working, then
so the work schedules kind of was like the deciding factor.
Yeah, because I mean, ultimately, because they're a little bit older, even if John is home in the morning, if they're sleeping, you know, or they don't get going, their day doesn't get going till later. It's not really time spent with them. It's more just everybody's asleep or doing their own thing. But like in the afternoons and evenings is when we do more together.
And so when you guys are doing more together, what are you spending your time doing?
Well, we do hockey, soccer. Strider and Rivers do their hockey on their own, so they take themselves to it back and forth. For Arias, I take him to soccer. He does a scrimmage with his team. I take him to hockey practice every couple days. And then we also do, like, we play video games with Arias. We've been building Legos. I cook in the evenings, so we eat dinner together, then we clean up together, and then we kind of, if they are doing extra work for hockey, we'll go out there and do it like in the garage or outside. We water the garden together, those kinds of things.
So is there any type of play that they don't enjoy doing?
Not that I can think of.
And how would you say that their play differs from how you played as a child?
I'd say it's, I don't know how to explain this. It's more kind of maybe a little bit more scheduled.
Okay.
Like if you've been inside for an hour, in 30 minutes we're gonna go outside and do something for an hour. For when I was a kid, I don't feel like we spent a lot of time inside, like you know, with electronics or with those kinds of things. I don't really remember as a kid having somebody say, you need to go outside and play, or you need to do something active to counteract the non-active aspect.
Like sometimes it almost even feels like it was opposite, like you need to come inside
and help do chores. Or, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe that's the difference, and maybe it's not as I don't want to say carefree, because it is still carefree. It's just carefree in a different sense. Like they don't run around the neighborhood like we did as kids. That to me, that was carefree. To them, carefree is just running around the yard or going to the park together. More for safety reasons, I guess.
Okay.
Now.
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna ask, is like, what has changed that they're not able to do that? Or
for me, it's more of the awareness of of their safety and of that there are people and things out there that we know more about now, probably due to like media, education, the internet, like those kinds of things.
Do you think those things existed when you played when you were little?
Existed. I just don't think we were as aware.
Okay.
And maybe they didn't exist as much because you couldn't find a child on the internet, or you know what I'm saying, you couldn't find their location through their iPad.
Right.
I don't know exactly the extent of that, but I do feel like it has an effect on those things.
Then, do you feel like they're missing out on anything?
My kids? I don't feel like my kids are missing out on anything, but they all do have friends. Like they do a lot of activities and they do a lot of things. They hardly ever say no to something that would be fun.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like I mean, I can't think of anything specific that they've missed out on.
So then, lastly, what were you saying?
I was just gonna say, like, they still, as kids, like, use their imagination. You know, they dressed up, they played toys. Arias still does all that. He plays with friends. When his friends come over, they play together. Like, they're not playing video games together. They actually play together, which isn't as, I don't think that's common for all children.
Like a lot of kiddos play video games with their friends.
Right, like their friends come over and they play video games. But Arias does still use his imagination with his friends. And if I'm being honest, he only has a couple of friends that he can do that with and do it for the extent of the time that they're together and not get bored. But he does also have friends who might do it for a little bit but then get bored of it. So it's interesting.
I guess in thinking about that, like I remember being little and saying I'm bored.
Yeah.
Even though we had the freedom.
Yeah. I think it's just I think it's also you just get set in the way that your day is going, like even for especially for summer, like every day you're kind of like doing the same thing, and so it does kind of it can get boring. Like even if you are playing outside or riding your bike or you know, like I think it's still because it's just kind of a repetitive pattern. I think that's more of the boredom.
What that causes. So then lastly, as an adult, when you have time to yourself, how do you play?
I work out. I read.
Nice.
I've been working in the yard a lot, like doing gardening, stuff like that. Sometimes I will go swimming by myself if nobody wants to go with me because I want to go swimming.
Oh, good.
Or I lay out because I like being in the sun. I don't know.
That's perfect.
But cleaning and laundry is not playing.
Even though that's
so
your time spent, dang it. Okay, thank you.
Sure. All right, bye.